What's going on, everybody? Gunnar Bramer here with Stromberg Carlson products, and today we're going to be showing you guys how to install the new Dura grip handrail grip. Now, foam handles, they can wear out. They're not a forever lasting product, right? In Stromberg Carlson, they came up with a new grip system, and probably the greatest thing about it is it goes on after the fact. There's no disassembly. You don't have to take anything apart. So you can even add an existing grip to a handrail that's already in place if you want to have grips in multiple locations, especially if you have a really long handled handrail. But you can also replace the old foam grips, which have a tendency to wear out. So today we're going to be looking at the new Dura grip from Stromberg Carlson. So before we get started, there's a few things you need to know. It's designed for a 1-inch rail, such as Stromberg Carlson's lend-to-hand rail system. It also needs to be applied above 45 degrees, and that's simply for the tape adhesion, and we'll get to that in a little bit. The other thing that you want to be aware of is when I'm going to remove this, the old foam grip here, and you want to run a simple cleaner, a non-corrosive cleaner. You can find it, Simple Green has a non-corrosive, WD-40 has a non-corrosive, and you're just looking to remove dust, grime, glue. Make sure you have a clear, clean surface for that tape to adhere to. So we're going to open this up and show you guys the components that you're going to be working with, and then I'm going to take this off and we're going to run through a quick installation. So when you open up this packaging, what you're going to have is you're going to have two handle pieces. You're going to have front, back, and there's no top bottom, so you don't have to worry about that, but the orientation can be however you like. You're also going to have two tie wraps, which is going to be the very last step, and you're also going to find one segment of tape that is 3 sections, and you're going to want to go ahead and break that into those 3 separate sections. Now I'm going to get mine open here, and something I like to do is I take the packaging off the front. You have all the instructions at the back, just as a quick reminder as we're going through this. So to take off your old grip, you want to be careful that you don't scratch the paint or do anything like that. But I'm going to take a simple razor knife, pocket knife, anything like that, and you just want a nice sharp edge. And I'm going to go ahead and score that foam. And then basically it's safer to just rip it off. Once you get it scored, that way you don't have to worry about accidentally cutting your paint. And then again, this is a nice brand new handrail, but use a non-corrosive cleaner. Make sure you have a very smooth, clean surface for that tape to adhere to. So the first thing that I like to do, you just want to take 1/2 of the handle, put it on this handrail, and it needs to be on a linear piece of handrail. You can't integrate it onto a curve. It is firm, rigid plastic, so it needs to be on a linear section of handrail. Now what you want to do with this tape is the tape segments, all 3 of them, are going to line up with your clips that you're going to have on your grip. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3 grip sections, and that is precisely where I'm going to place all of my tape sections. And one thing that this is going to allow you to do, basically you're putting the tape where there's the maximum amount of pressure, right? So that you have the most amount of friction that you can have. So this can't ever slip, can't ever rotate. It's going to be extremely durable for you. It's also going to prevent you from getting up above the handrail and having tape seep out of the edge and become a sticky surface. So all the tape's hidden, right matching up on the clips. So I'm going to find this kind of in a very comfortable spot, and I'm going to use this to mark where my tape goes. I'm just going to peel the white backing completely off the tape, put my handrail in the place that I want, and then line that tape up and just loosely leave it on there. Again, I'm going to take the white backing off, line this up, put it on for maybe 1/2 inch or 1 inch or so, take my white tape off, and line that up. Now I can remove that back handle. I don't have to worry about that. And because this is double-sided tape, obviously the front face isn't sticky. Now the tape is designed to have a very small degree of overlap. So as I start bringing this around, I need to lift up on the kind of flap of the tape, if you will, so that I can overlap that without locking that down, and then chase it. And now I have double-sided tape, 360 degrees, perfectly applied, right where the clips go together. You want to repeat that for the remaining 2. Now I have my 3 sections of tape here, and because I used the clips on the handle to line them up, basically the spacing that you're looking for from center to center is about 3.5 inches between tape sections. But again, it's perfectly lined up with your clips on here. And I'm going to go ahead and apply my back section And again, there's no top and bottom, so you don't have to worry about that. You want to get that nice and tight to the rail here. And then this part, you need to make sure that your male and female eggs are oriented the correct way, because there is no top and bottom and front to back. So I'm going to go ahead and line up the female edge end of the product all the way down the side, and then begin to push the male edge into the receiving end. That's going to lock the handle in place. Now what you're going to see is, because I did one side and then the other, this side's perfectly lined up, perfectly closed and latched in place. I'm going to take my hands here and just pop this side into place, and you simply want to work your way down the handle, and you're focusing all that pressure right on that clasp, or right on that clasp, right on that clasp, and right on that clasp. Make sure you have a nice clean edge, and you can use the first edge that you did kind of as a reference so that you understand how tight the seam should be to make sure that that's locked in place. Now this is 100% good to go, and we have a simple safety measure for you guys so that nobody's going to come along and perhaps steal these off your travel trailers, but also to make sure that if you didn't install it properly, that it's not going to fall off with the vibrations of driving down the road. So what you're going to have is these two tie wraps, and there's a little recessed pocket, both top and bottom on the handrail, that the tie wraps are designed to seat in. So I'm simply going to make sure I have this with the smooth surface facing outwards. So you want that smooth surface facing out. I'm going to go ahead and push that into place here. And I have that snug, but you can see I can still rotate it. And that's not an issue. Again, it's not designed to add necessarily any structural durability to the handrail. It's simply a safety precaution. So what I like to do once I get the zip ties on, and this is really the only tool required to install the entire grip system, but I take a pair of toenail clippers. You can take a razor knife, some nippers, some wire cutters. You want to come in, cut that nice and flush. The toenail clippers can get in tight enough that there's no burr, there's no raised edge, there's something to kind of catch on that create a really nice smooth surface. And then I'll just take these and simply rotate them to the back of the handrail. So after I rotate these tie wraps to the back, I have a perfectly clean, extremely durable Dura grip from Stromberg Carlson products. And that is Stromberg Strong.